And if you're not picking the Jinx early away from CLG, then what's to stop Luger and Poome from running it back? Blaber gets the early Xin. Now, I really, really think that Trundle is insanely good against Xin. Does so many good things. Yes, Xin has some good early ganking power, but Xin has been so highly prized across the world. One of the highest presence from the top 4 regions, actually the highest presence champion, and yet Trundle with Pillar can put him in so many bad spots. With the ultimate and with Red Smite can even duel him. So I think there are a lot of good options, even though there's such a high priority on getting Xin Zhao because of the time you can buy with your ultimate. You can gank early and play frontline later for team fights. I think that it should be, answered pretty seamlessly by the rest of the teams. But already, even without the ban towards Jinx, we have a divergence. CLG are going for the double poke lane. They're the ones that want supreme poke power in the bottom side. You have such good range with these two. Karma can take over brush control very early on as a support, and then you can throw your Qs to try and get harassment. Yes, the mantra Q does a lot there, but also helps out with the wave pushing for Ezreal, which sometimes the Ezreal can struggle with. So with this duo, you get long range annoying poke, you get control of the wave as well, you get brush control. It's just, there's so many good things here, and CLG, I like that they are now daring and putting the emphasis on Cloud9 to play the Jinx and come up with some playmaking off Thresh.
Right, this is a mirror of game number 1 almost, because remember that it was Cloud9 having the Ezreal and the Karma. It was CLG with a Jinx and a Lulu. But this time around, it'll be Jinx Thresh versus that instead. So you're going to have more engaged power. You're going to have more of a threat for the all-in against the Ezreal Karma here with what Cloud9 has. CLG saying, all right, game number 2 looked really good for Contractz here on the Viego. Let's run that back.
Yeah, he definitely had a good focus on bottom side. Constant ganks there, escape from any dangerous opportunities. It was a much better game from Contractz individually, and that's what you're going to have to match here, because the way that Jinx Thresh can combat a lot of this advantage in poke from Ezreal Karma is with Xin Zhao jungle pressure, trying to take away some of the space for them. Into the solo lane bans, though, as is so common nowadays. Jungles and bottom lane picks in 1, 2, 3 for both teams. This leaves them the opportunity to further whittle down on the Fudge champion pool. Both sides actually taking shots at mid lane. Thus far, we really have seen Fudge respond to basically everything that has been thrown at him. I've definitely been impressed by his early transition towards mid lane.
Well, we're not getting any Corki, we're not getting any Victor, we're not getting any Orianna this time around here in the mid lane. I know,
so it's fear time. Then,
right? No, don't you put that evil on me. No.
They actually just played it in Korea as well.
Please no. I'm like, Prage, no Azir. Okay, Sion's banned out now too. CLG remembering what happened with that blue side top lane Sion there in game number 1. They don't want to deal with that again. Let's see what Cloud9's last ban is going to be. Do they want to continue to further target that mid lane pool? Remember that in game number 1, they banned out Kassadin, which is not a super common ban. We'll see if they want to go for something similar here again.
In that one, they were trying to protect their Corki pick, because Kassadin does also scale super well, but then can put pressure on him with the jumps. So banning away the possible split push opportunity there with the Camille pick for Jenkins. And they really did, chop down a lot on the Jenkins options. That right off the bat, Gwen, they're like, okay, we're not giving them that a second time. He scaled quite nicely and had a pretty smooth early stage. Just a couple of transition kills early on. Finally, two things. There are 2 solo laners that have been very suspiciously left up in a lot of LCS games and even a lot of LEC games. The LeBlanc in mid lane and the Renekton in top lane. 2 early game, kill-oriented, pressure solo lane champions that have been left up constantly. Now, finally, we get to see it picked. Palafox, I'm happy to see, is one of the players to do it. He's received a lot of assassin bans early on for the reason that these are the types of champions that he really did make his name for himself and has climbed every time he's gone over to Korea, when he goes over to boot camp for solo queue, sometimes with the team, sometimes just on his own, starts to climb really high with. So very excited to see him with the LeBlanc, something he actually put pressure on. The Malzahar is a very common answer though. Similar to a Lissandra, it's one of the unexciting yet stable answers to LeBlanc because you have the spell shield. You can avoid a lot of the opportunity for engage, and big one is just point and click CC versus LeBlanc. Shuts her down so much, not only for team play, but also later in the game.
Hey, Malzahar is just the mage version of Skarner. He's purple, he suppresses you, and he takes no skill. That's why I like it. I'm cool with Malzahar. I think Malzahar is great. And we got the Akshan, they're running that
you
one
and
back
Malzahar
again.
are homies.
Yeah, we're cool. We're hanging out
in the same pod.
The little creatures he summons, they're like little baby Skarner-looking things if you sort of squint your eyes a little bit. Over on the other side, though, the last pick of the draft for CLG is an Aatrox in top lane for Jenkins.
Maybe we make you a Malzahar skin where the little voidlings are little Skarners. Little
yeah, that could work.
Scuttling around.
I would buy that, Riot. I would buy it.
I'm interested to see how this counter pick from Jenkins actually works out into the Akshan, because to me it screams more of a team pick, not a lane counter pick into Akshan. You know, yes.
Is that how I'm supposed to say it? Akshan?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
It's just the more correct way.
Okay. I got that. That's downloaded now.
Yeah, to go for it. But again, we all say Darshan, which is the English pronunciation of his name. That's not how you're actually supposed to say Darshan. But because we have everyone has said it for 10 years.
So we have the chance to say it right this time because he's a new champion.
Exactly. I'm still saying Darshan. I'm not changing my pronunciation there.
I'll cast off of the other screen, or maybe this super tiny one. I don't really know what's going on. Anyway, we're about to jump into game number 3. Remember, this is the last one of the series. If you win here, you get to go on and play next weekend. If you don't, you don't. So CLG back on the red, Cloud9 back on the blue. Everybody running out, and once again, it's CLG grouping up at level 1, trying to see if they can find anything extra here before the minions spawn.
One cool thing in this like little mini view that we have, it gives the XY coordinates of the position of wherever I click.
How is that useful?
I just said it was cool. I didn't say it was useful.
Well, normally if someone's cool, you're like, oh, here's why it's cool.
I can tell you that Contractz currently is at 154 and negative 126 on the XY, and Z is 0, obviously, because he's not jumping up. So Z axis is clear.
Do you think Pantheon actually goes to Z when he jumps in the air?
Yeah.
Wait, does he?
Yeah.
That's Pog. Oh, never mind. We got a play coming out. Blaber tries to get away and has to flash level 1.
Also, it's kind of funny. In creating the animations, some of the champions have insane Z-axis changes to make the animation actually look normal for you for your isometric view. I know that Jace, specifically, when he goes hammer to the skies, jumps like 30 feet into the air.
Wait, really?
But because we're isometrically at looking down, it looks so normal. It looks like a regular jump. But if we like had a different camera angle and you could see the full Z-axis change, it would be wonky.
Dude, I'm so glad people like listening to me talk. I could never figure this stuff out. This is so complicated. Hey, bless up to everybody behind the scenes and make the game actually function. Now let's see how this top side goes, because last time around, we scaled up to the point where Jenkins was able to just have a lot of impact there in the fights. The rest of the team was doing great, but Darshan early on can command a lot of lane control with his Akshan pick.
He certainly can. And again, that's why we were kind of talking about the Aatrox being picked in this team for more frontline sort of answer, and having a lot of mobility and stability with the healing to be able to answer there more for team composition rather than actually picking for the 1v1, because Akshan is going to have that oppressive lane regardless. All right, just a quick update too in case anybody cares about our IT situation. We've got help up here, and it was not instantly recognized, so that makes me feel better, Flowers, that it wasn't like a, oh, you idiots. It was just as simple as
I was fully expecting him to come up here and click one button within 3 seconds.
I still am sure that it's one button.
Well, I don't know where the button is.
Boo! There it is.
All right.
I saw where
we got it. We got it. Thank you, engineers. Y'all are the best. A little bit of...
Guess what? Just
a lot of love
dive,
for engineers,
baby.
but we got a dive coming out as Jenkins is in trouble. He's down to 100 HP and it's first blood over to Darshan, but immediately responded thanks to the TP from Palafox.
And this is the one thing. You may start to get accustomed to making a lot of plays and not having TP responses because of the unleashed changes, but tower dives are where you still can get paid, and it does not hurt CLG seemingly at all there. Because they both have teleport ready, all you have to do is lane swap. Palafox, not only does he get the kill credit in the counter kill onto Blaber, also gets the buff, also gets the big minion wave that was stacked up at his turret, and Jenkins gets to go catch mid lane as that was pushed in because Malzahar early levels cannot push, does not have good wave control. So while CLG are, fall down as far as, oh no, Jenkins got first blooded again, guess what? They come out still almost 600 gold ahead, seamlessly losing almost nothing on the top lane death there, and Jenkins pulls out the magic trick. Haha, now I'm mid lane!
Feels good, man.
Thought you had me, doesn't even matter because now Palafox is turbo-fed LeBlanc. He gets the double stacked wave on top side. I would actually favor funneling money into LeBlanc in this scenario because you can have a really early power spike here, burst damage, roaming around with Contractz.
And talking about Contractz, he's farming the whole time. There's an 800, well, it shrunk down to 500 now that the wave crashed, but there's a pretty big lead in the jungle here. 3 camps for the Viego because, hey, he didn't have anything else to do. Might as well just farm it on up.
Yeah, the opportunity cost always of junglers that you have to consider when going for those early ganks is the time farming, which is huge. So while for CLG, hey, we don't actually lose that much for our laners. We just exchange lanes for them. You actually used another resource on the side of Cloud9, which is obviously your jungler, to pull the play off. And so that's where they lost so much. That's where Contractz punishes them, and rightfully so. Moves in for a little bit of extra vision on the bottom side after his recall. Gets the early sheen buy for Viego. So tons of burst damage here ready for him. And it's painful for Xin because now Blaber, you lost so much time in map control when going for that dive and actually getting killed, and Contractz punishes you. If you go into the side that Contractz is hovering on, then you get hit with the Spectral Maw, red buff Viego, level up on you. You can't get away. You're Xin with no flash for another 30 seconds.
Yeah, it'll be a little while.
And you have to give up so much extra control. Palafox, meanwhile, level 6 LeBlanc.
Oh, they're in some trouble here mid. CLG's going after it yet again. Contract's trying to come in there. The Spectral Maw has already missed. Fudge and Isles trying to get away. Fudge has no flash left to try to escape further. Contract's continuing the chase. Palafox right behind him. Fudge still trying to get out, but Contractz is hungry. He goes for the death sentence, but just barely doesn't have the ring.
And let's go over the thinking into it. Here comes Darshan down to the river, though.
Contractz, he's knocked up into the air. Akshan gets the first kill, and now it's going to be Poome number 2. Blaber takes that one, and Cloud9 responds to CLG.
There we go. Flowers, we wanted to see some good Akshan plays coming out in last game. Here's what you get. You get him full wave control topside, constantly pushing in the Aatrox, so it results in the first move downriver. And regardless of what is a good play from CLG, playing off their Fed LeBlanc, and their Viego that has extra camp lead towards mid lane and forcing the kill here, they chase so far into the jungle that Darshan gets to answer. Picks up 2 kills on the Akshan. This is the game where we get to put his name in lights. Game number 1, Sion, he absolutely demolished Jenkins and by extension, the rest of CLG. Another hook though finds
Poome! What are you doing, buddy? Zven's getting paid, that's for sure. Another free kill over to C9.
Cloud9 on fire now with a lot of these answer plays. Up through the river, Isles finds the hook onto Poome. Payment received. Level 6 malzahar.
Oh, malzahar, baby. Palafox tries to get out, but Blaber's ready to go. Win becomes lightning. Point and click. That's all it takes, man. Malzahar gets it done.
Fudge has got this mid lane thing on lock, you know. Pick the malzahar, boom. A little bit facetious there, but the reason it went so awry last time, Cloud9, he was only level 5. They were trying to send 3 members to help him push the last wave up to be able to secure that safety, and CLG punished him. This time around, though, half health Palafox goes in for it, and you get hit with the R counterplay. Malzahar ult allows Blaber to go finish up the kill because there's no flash on Palafox, nowhere for him to go.
All right, CLG have found themselves now at a bit of a deficit. 1,500 gold lead for C9. They're going to try to defend their own red buff. Contractz does successfully steal it and uses the Hallowed Mist to get away, so at least he's got that going for him. But when you're looking at that gold over there, man, those top 3 spots are all C9. Darshan having a good time up here against Jenkins as well. Jenkins does have a decently close amount of farm, but once Darshan gets this wave here that's about to crash, he will be about 2 waves ahead.
Yeah. Definitely a pretty good setup here for the red invade with double supported jungle movement.
Goodbye, Malzahar. No ulti on that one. He took Palafox low, but couldn't get enough damage for the kill.
Kill for kill here towards mid lane. No cooldown back here on the Malzahar ultimate. Palafox forces this one on LeBlanc with the chain. Really nice setup from him. Testing a little bit of those damage limits, knows they have a short window before Malzahar ultimate comes back, and you can try and punish that play. You can try and regain some control. This is what people have loved about the new iteration of CLG. In the games, even when they're down in holes, you know, they start to fall behind, they try and fight their way out. They don't try and wait for a way to open up for them. So nice little force there on the LeBlanc. Palafox sets him up, chain lands under turret, and Contractz has no fear, goes under turret to capitalize on it. With this Rift Trail getting started out, he's going to need one more eye proc to finish it off.
Yep.
But it looks like since Akshan here, Darshan continues to push in top side, the early control from those solo laners will allow him to finish it off without an answer from CLG.
Luger gets out of the way of those flame chompers before they arm. Zven trying to catch him out a little bit there. Needed another fraction of a second. But now the exhaust down onto the Cloud9 AD carry means CLG's ready to go in and look for a little bit more. True Shot Barrage barely clips Isles but misses Zven. And C9's able to get back to their turret. Now rotating multiple players up here into the top side. Looking for another potential dive here onto Jenkins. Blaber and Darshan gonna start things off here. They're waiting for Fudge to get there to guarantee that they got it. Jenkins gets away almost, but he's burning down, and it's Fudge getting the fade away kill.
He's got the sticky honey all over his fingers. Can't get it off in time. And Fudge gets the kill. The sugar, that'll get you in the end, Flowers.
Gotta take care of yourself, man. You gotta eat good.
And Jenkins goes down again. His flash also burned in this play. It's interesting we've had so many games where Cloud9 focus on top side while CLG focus on bottom side. This is actually low health Blaber taking a beating. And Contractz is gonna get paid.
Blaber is executed in his own jungle. The Ruin King finds him and ruins his day. Blaber just wanted to farm up a grump, but Contractz finds his 2nd kill of the game.
I'm liking him so much more on this pick. El Contracto strikes again. Darshan gonna stop his back though. And Akshan actually has execution in the ultimate. So if you take one more trade there, it gets really scary. Jenkins walks down though.
Yep. Jenkins being there was incredibly important to guarantee that Contractz was able to escape. Darshan is now back up in top, feeling just great about how things are looking here. He'll be able to continue farming up just fine. Super Mega Death Rocket finds Luger here in bottom. They got him down to about 300 HP, but he's pretty safe underneath the turret. Zven doesn't have a lot of mana left to play with, but Zven and Isles looking a lot better here in the bottom lane this time around. When you don't die 2v2 at level 2, your lane feels like you got a lot more ground to stand on.
And you don't really die by the Ezreal Karma unless you are just getting out-skilled in movement and they just land skill shots repeatedly and you don't respect the positioning there. So well played by them. Good movement up through the river too. Remember, Isles bought time to go up and land the hook onto Poome as he was checking for vision. So even when support is linking up with jungle, they've had some decent showings for Isles. And for Zven farming up, they also cash in, get Jinx paid, tower, plus the kill in the hands of Zven.
Oh,
this
yeah.
man has carried many a fight for C9. And on the Jinx, now is getting enough money to try and do so again.
Contractz and Poome, however, at least have the opportunity to take this first Drake of the game. Very late first Drake. Feels like a throwback to World's first Drakes. Happened in 12 minutes, 13 minutes into the game. But that one does find its way over to the side of CLG.
Yeah, I think this just looks so good for Cloud9 because, like you're talking about, the delayed dragon means your real payout for dragons does not come until you get your soul. The individual bonus for the dragons is kind of pitiful at the moment, and so 2.6k gold lead now for Cloud9. plus a super delayed even possibility of that dragon stacking for CLG, and a composition that is again still relying on poke with LeBlanc plus Ezreal, even though it's at the same amount of poke, has counterplay like this.
Okay, Palafox tries to get on out of there after Fudge drops the dots on him. Palafox taken pretty low here, down to about 1/3 HP. And I also want to add on even more so with these individual Drake bonuses not being that effective. Remember that that's Chemtech Drake, one of the new ones, which the base ability of it is that it gives you more damage versus higher health targets. This is a game really without tanks, so it's not going to do a whole lot there as we end up having a fight break out. Isles tries to get himself away, but he's going to be killed by Contractz. Now with the resets coming in, Blaber's the one who's got to be careful. Contractz goes back in, but he's going to get mopped up. It's Janitor Zven, baby, and he's ready for everybody except for Luger, who goes right back in to find him. Blaber with a flash forward to take him right back down. 4 dead on the side of CLG.
Huge win for Cloud9. The only one they dropped there is Zven, and he still got 2 kills before going down. So more money onto the Jinx, and Blaber's able to clean up here. Actually, I think the early death there as well for Isles. He just respawned in time. But it's still such a huge play for Cloud9. So Isles the first one to go down. Contractz picks up his body, but the response here is so quick. Blaber creates so much space there on the Xin that Zven gets to walk up, collects 2, triple kill racked up for him, and I believe the LeBlanc had the extra cash in. Luger cuts his time short, but it is still answered by the flash from Blaber, so much money picked up by Zven. If he wasn't set up to carry fights previously, he certainly is now, and that was without Fudge or Darshan being there. So they also, even though they have zeros on the damage graph, pushed in waves to the towers, saw him up at the mid turret, so big wins there for Cloud9. Gold lead balloons to 4K, and now you're worried about the mid-game Jinx in the other hand. Zven gonna show them how it's done.
So let me ask you then, because this does feel so dire, 4,000 gold lead, it's not like we can talk about the Drake Soul being a big counterpoint there. What's the plan for CLG?
Well, the biggest problem is, again, coming back to the counter pick of the Malzahar into LeBlanc. So much of it is for this stage, and it's just made worse that the team is that much ahead. LeBlanc, your late game pattern is trying to pick people off, trying to go for poke combos where you expose yourself by moving up with your distortion. Now, if Fudge ever hits R on you, you'll get melted by the C19. And they also have split pushing opportunities with the Akshan. So unless you catch Fudge out...
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Speaking of a catch out, oh, he tried to get away, but he only found himself in Blaber's waiting arms.
Such a good response here, and this is just going to be more of the same for Cloud9. They're very robust in their setup. Split push here with Darshan. Does actually face check into the brush, and so it costs him a flash, but they've already got the towers that they want down. So they can push on both side lanes there. Fudge on cooldown with the R button can handle a lot of these aggressive champions from CLG. The LeBlanc, the Viego coming in and shut down a lot of those opportunities. What they want to hope for, though, you're looking for hope flowers, and I gave you Doom.
Yeah, I was like, this is some Walmart brand hope here. This is not doing it.
The hope for CLG, you know, is that they can actually land some good skill shots and poke early. If Ezreal can poke off the Malzahar shield or land significant damage onto any of the members, they're all squishy. So, you know, the poke from Luger and even Poome, even though he should be saving Mantra for the shield speed ups at this stage in the game as you transition into multi-champion play, will actually find lasting rewards. So Luger, they put some emphasis on getting him the Ezreal and Karma lane this time around. They chose to give up the Jinx. Has to repay the team now, has to repay the champion choice with landing a lot of skill shots that add that value, add your poke value before it starts out. Because that's their only advantage there for CLG. The only possible advantage is finding poke first. Otherwise, Cloud9 go for the, go for the hard engage, get their resets off for Akshan and for Jinx.
Well, we've got Darshan down here in the bottom lane. Everybody's looking towards this second Drake now as it's about to spawn. Blaber's going to find himself in a pretty bad spot, but he is pulled to safety by the Lantern. Poome now trying to get away as C9 moves forward as a 4-man unit. Remember, Darshan is still bottom. He has not started to move yet. Contractz uses the smite there to secure the Scuttle Crab. He does have the next smite coming up here in about 10 seconds. Cloud9 already onto the Drake. They saw him smite it. They know if they burn it down, there's not going to be a smite fight. But now they're turning back onto the enemy instead. Fudge gets the kill on Jenkins. Y'all are disrespecting Malzahar without paying your taxes. That is not a good formula.
How are you trying to tax the team that's 6,000 gold behind? That's trying to tax your butler.
I never said taxes are fair.
You're trying to tax your butler here, Flowers. CLG are too poor to pay taxes. Jenkins just gets melted. It's also just the worst scenario. You get some health. You get the steel caps to try and deal with your lane, and you get absolutely melted by a Malzahar ultimate with Leandries. It's just, if you are a health stacking bruiser with no magic resist against that, you actually just get destroyed by that alone. And that's why there's no hesitation from Fudge. He literally has the easiest gameplay for Malzahar ever. It's ult anyone who dares to approach your team.
Yep.
First person, doesn't matter if it's their frontliner because it's just a high health target. You do percentage health damage and they've got no magic resistance. So well done by C9. That's why we kind of deem it a death trap there for CLG to even approach. And it is well executed by Cloud9. They are not playing around here. Game number 3 looks like some serious business for them. They want to move on. They want to get to those semifinals.
I mean, they have a 6,500 gold lead, not even 20 minutes into the game. That is a nightmare for the side of CLG. Contractz trying to stand and fight a little bit here, but C9's ready to look for even more. Fudge has the ulti back up and ready to go. Remember, Palafox has a QSS now, so they can't just do the point-and-click guarantee on him anymore, but he is the only one that has that outplay opportunity. Rift Herald number 2 going to be summoned up here in the mid lane. The minion wave will be cleared out in time, but there's no way to stop this Herald from doing its job. Wham, bam, there you go. Turret falls here in mid. CLG still seeing if Palafox can find anything else on the back end of it. Just a little bit of poke, anything, but it's not quite there. Wind becomes lightning over the wall. He wanted the blue, but he found the top laner. Jenkins doesn't want anything to do with this. Enemy jungler same level as he is, and that just means Cloud9 can steal that one away nice and easy, even donate it over to Fudge.
Yeah, and they also have time to reset and catch their waves. Bottom lane now is just getting up to the turret, so a little bit of gold lost bottom lane, but not a tremendous amount. And Fudge has teleport too, so you can go catch that, no problem. Top side does get up to the tower. Here we go. Can they pull it off quickly?
Oh, Darshan! He stays alive with the shield bow, but Contractz is able to stick to him and get the kill. Now can he get out? Isles and Zven are after him. Gale Force has already been used. Zven, super mega death rocket. Put the highlight on the death. He grabs the kill.
Now I guess the only thing to debate there is, should you go back and pick up the soul or just run straight north and try and escape there? It's definitely hindsight. So we already know with the timing going back to pick it up, you also gain some distance being able to recast R, but the time and the transition over
let's see it again.
Allowing Jinx seeing you. Yeah, this is theoretical.
Yeah, let's theory craft a little bit. Okay.
So they pull up the kill, yes, and you're trying to chase down. Pretty good burst damage here. They don't. The only thing they miss is the chain, and that's because Darshan flashed. So Contractz still is able to get the ult over the wall. They get this. So they kill him about as quickly as possible, barring something with the flash. Yeah, I think even if he had run straight up, Zven probably still cuts him off.
I never noticed that the rocket is a bouquet of flowers in that skin. You learn something new every day. Well, anyway, Cloud9's learning how fast they might be able to win this game here. Oh, that's big. QSS from Palafox means that Palafox now no longer has access to his poke pattern if Fudge is nearby for the next 90 seconds.
I was going to say it's convenient. You know, flowers for the grave of the person you just killed with your ultimate, just exploding all over the
Damn,
ground.
that's cool. Yeah, that's...
There's thought that goes into those skins.
Yeah, dude.
Considerate move from Jinx as well.
All right. We also have a change in the itemization here from Darshan in this game compared to how he was playing the Akshan in the previous one. He did go wits in second item this time around.
He paid his taxes early.
Yep. We've got the QSS up for both solo laners on the side of CLG. Still nothing there for the Viego, but Luger has his too. That means the only targets without their QSSs are the Karma and the Viego.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
get those highlights. Yeah, there we go.
Since we went through so much technical difficulty at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, we got to really utilize this thing.
We go ahead and put as much focus
very important.
QSSs as possible because it is the single most important thing on a Skarner player's minds.
Yes, it is.
That item.
It is. This is the one thing that makes suppression balanced and not just the absolute most broken mechanic in League of Legends. Rylai's Crystal Scepter, second item done here for Fudge. Talking about suppression, the Rylai is now going to make it so whenever those malefic visions bounce around, you're automatically slowing a target. Palafox going to get chased after here by Darshan, who goes in with a comeuppance, and they're ready to chase him down with Isles and Blaber too. Palafox trying to get all the way away. Wind becomes lightning, and here comes Isles. The QSS is back up, but Palafox is burning, and Isles will burn him to death. Ping's coming out onto the Baron now as Cloud9 is ready to keep this lead snowballing.
All right, that's going to be Baron started. No LeBlanc on the map for 30 seconds. There's an Unleashed teleport ready for Palafox, but that would be a lot of time. CLG would have to poke them off this Baron and make it reset. They're going to try and do just that. Darshan taking a lot of damage.
Darshan down below half HP, does lose the shield bow there, thanks to the True Shot Barrage, but now they're turning in for the fight. The Baron has been stopped.
They did it.
What happens thereafter? Blaber continuing to lead the charge here. He goes after Jenkins. Zap finds the slow onto the CLG top laner. There's your death sentence. QSS is in, but it's not fast enough. And Zven's able to get the kill. So they miss out on the Baron, but they at least pick up one for their troubles.
Yeah, you got enough time here. Palafox is back, so shouldn't be a restart for Cloud9. They did gain, you know, a bit of gold and some more territory, but I have to caution with the bounties up. You have to be very quick with your resets. A little bit of a change in gameplay with the objective bounties is that you have to be more cautious than previously because there is a decent amount of comeback gold available on the map if you're slow or greedy with your reset timers. So immediately CLG start pushing waves. You kind of push and prod as the team that's behind, and then barring giving up Baron, try and trade a little bit for some of those cash-ins.
Darshan continuing to split down here in this bottom side. You can see he's got the Kerchay's shard in his inventory, so now it looks like he's working towards that Storm Razor that he got second in the previous match. Palafox finds him down here, but Darshan is going rogue, hiding back on that terrain, utilizing the power of the camouflage. Contractz heading back into his own jungle as Cloud9 will clear out whatever vision they find here in the neutral territory. There's not really anything to fight over in this bottom side river right now except for that Scuttle Crab they just picked up. There's no Drake for the next 2.5 minutes still. Even down here in bottom lane, the tier 2 turret has already been removed because of Cloud9's advantages so far. Isles and Zven now backing away as Contractz goes in, but they got to be careful, man. The box is dropped and Isles is down. Nice pick there for CLG. They're seeing if they can find even more as Luger goes forward, but now they got to be careful. Cloud9's coming in with the backup. Blaber's here in the middle of 4 different players from CLG, but he remains unafraid. Darshan has found an entrance on the side, but is it really the one he wanted? He gets himself away, and now Jenkins is in the middle of 3. CLG's doing everything they can. They're able to find the kill on Blaber. Jenkins tries to get away, but just barely will not. Darshan able to revive Blaber with that as Fudge goes on a killing spree, and Luger is down.
And Zven resets, chases him out of the river, heads right back up to Baron. These are 2 members down for CLG. Reset and heal right back out on the map for Blaber and Isles. This should be a Baron start once again.
That is so huge that the Akshan passive was able to bring them back to life. You love to see that, bringing your allies back so that the Baron take is as easy as ever.
It's one of the things that people were so worried about on release of the champion is the revive mechanic, and in scenarios just like this where you can reset for these objectives. Because of the execution, Contractz does get caught up, and it's just going to cost him the activation of nothing. There you go.
Hey, activation and nothing. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Either way, that is a Baron for Cloud9 now with nearly a 10,000 gold lead. Darshan's going to try to get away here as Contractz goes after him. Now, Contractz is 2 levels down, but he has backup. Darshan can clear the distance in time, and he will escape.
All right, with Baron now, easy push. You can just move up. There's a teleport ready here on Fudge. He's going to try and get the bottom wave moving first. Here's another look at how it went down.
Right.
Isles does get chunked out first, and they get the reset, but there's such a huge gold lead on Cloud9. Even with their Akshan flanking up and taking a lot of damage on the exit here, they're still able to come out. So, chunk down onto Fudge. They get the spell shield down. They get the flank here, thinking they're going to put some pressure on Luger. They get the exhaust out early. Blaber creates so much space, and malzahar does get the ultimate cleanse. Jenkins creates the opening here, trying to retain, but let's see. Oh man, the extra little burn there does actually tick down. He had malzahar on him, plus the ignite burning from Darshan. Those two dots finish up the kill and allow the reset from Zven to move right in. Baron buff means they can finish it off.
Blaber was dead, but Contractz was alive, so going for that Baron is still kind of risky if it's not Akshan bringing him back to life. So really good turn of events there for Cloud9 to be able to bring their boy back and look to break the enemy base in half. The mid lane inhibitor is already gone, and they're grouped up as 5 here for the tier 3 turret in bottom. They're going to continue just applying that pressure, applying that damage. Everybody's heading for the hills on the CLG side as Cloud9 is looking to end this game soon. Zven just continuing to be that massive damage source here. Inhibitor down bottom now too. Nexus turrets under pressure. Zven just auto-attacking freely. CLG is going to have to make their stand sometime here soon. First Nexus turret's already gone. Second one's the target, but Luger's not even able to participate. Comeuppance is about to channel, looking for the damage here, going around for the angle, but won't be able to find it. Jenkins in the middle of everybody. Contractz trying to escape, but he will not. And Cloud9 respond in game number 3. They will pad their stats however they can, but the game is done, and C9 take the win.
And they had so many counters in pick and ban, you know, with malzahar shutting down melee carries, but also specifically for LeBlanc later on, that even with some of the early money that CLG got, where they got the early counter kill plus double stacked wave into Palafox's hands for the LeBlanc, and even off of the play towards mid lane where they try and force, Darshan came down. He cleaned up the kills on the exit. The Akshan constantly cleaning up some of these possibilities. And yeah, in the last fight, they were 8,500 gold ahead.
Yeah.
But really also showcasing, you know, the revive from the champion. So you get to see how the rewards are exacerbated in what would be an even-ish fight because of the speed of the reset for the next objective, which is kind of cool for the, you know, the champion specific kit to be highlighted there. But honestly, from that point, you know, they had such a big lead. Well done there from Cloud9. This game, they completely turned it right back around. So deserving of their semifinal spot. Excited to see them move on.
Oh, yeah.
Also excited to see this CLG team grow as the year goes on.
Right, this CLG squad was the one that made this quarterfinal match go to 3 games. None of the other series went to that level. CLG definitely seems like they got a bright future ahead of them if they can keep improving, keep shoring up the weaknesses. A lot of young talent here. They're fun to watch.
Jinx was also quite important for this series. Expected to be important moving on.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's just been one of those top-tier picks for the entire lock-in, right?
Yeah. For me, it is, since Caitlyn is banned all the time, and even when Caitlyn is up, you know, it does really need and benefit from being paired with something like the Lux to be able to make the most of your strong laning phase.
Throttle
and
the lane.
actually get those plates. Barring that, you know, Jinx a little bit higher, so much carry potential for resetting in these team fights than the Aphelios that actually can work super well, especially into shorter range comps. But Jinx, the range on level 5 Fishbones just gives you so much power for and safety for later team fights. Plus, since everything is turning into 5-on-5s around objectives, the passive has insane value. So a lot of it is has been a bit warping for some of this. Did see some good, you know, use of the poke though as well. Ezreal Corki also going to continue to move forward and be extremely powerful. Obviously, we're setting up an interview right now, so we have a little bit of time.
And I'm looking forward to next weekend too, because, you know, we've already got to see the differences here from group stage best of 1s going into best of 3s. But next weekend, we get the full best of 5 experience for the finale of lock-in for the semifinals and the grand final. And just seeing the way this one played out, you know, with the changes that we got to see between games 1 and 2, I think it'll be a lot of fun to get that full-fledged series play next week.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. There are already changes on live to some of these things too. So as the season starts to progress, we'll get a little different look from the lock-in look that is our, our first petri dish.
Yeah, somebody's gonna need to take
change.
the gasoline out of Corky's helicopter or something, because he's just watching the double rocket 100-0 on the Jinx in game number 1 was some absolute madness.
Yeah.
But now we're joining the Tigress and Blaber for our Verizon post-game interview.